Education Matters. I'm your host, Mr. Kamambugwa, and I'm privileged to have with me my guests, Madam Engineer Wairimu Muli. To assist me in the interview, I'll have Madam Kumboka, most of them. On this show, we'll be talking about the place of the role of the girl in the STEM education in Kenya. And I will first ask our guest, Madam Wairimu, to introduce herself.
Okay, thank you. I would want to introduce myself maybe in different ways. Number one, I'm a Kenyan lady. I am married to Engineer Muli. I am a mother, I am a wife, and recently I'm a young mother-in-law. So that is me from a social perspective. I also want to emphasize something I like emphasizing, that I am born again. I'm a born again Christian.
Yes.
That is very key in everything that I do. Maybe that in a nutshell, that is very Muli.
Good. You're also a director of a company. Tell us about this company and what does it do?
I'm a director of TAMS Kenya, Consulting Engineers. TAMS Kenya is an engineering consultancy firm where mostly we do consultancy in civil and structural engineering, majoring in roadworks, traffic, bridges, and environmental engineering. In my firm, I handle the issues to do with bridges and environmental engineering.
Thank you. On education matters, we usually focus on matters to do with curriculum reform, digital literacy, and so on and so forth. But today I want to focus on briefly on matters touching on curriculum reform and the place of the girl child in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Now, you as an engineer, I would like you to tell us, what does it take for a girl to succeed in STEM?
Well, that is a good question. I think it takes quite a good number of things to be successful in STEM. Number one, the interest. You say, these are sciences, technology, sciences, and mathematics. What is your interest for you to succeed in that area? That is one thing, because you'll agree with me that we have all our girls in high school, very few translate to university in that area, and far much fewer also translate into the field.
Could you show us a journey from how you came up from a young girl to an engineer that you have now, managing your own engineering firm today?
I think for me, I want to say that the most impact in my life to start with was from home. I am brought up in a polygamous family. My father had 2 wives with 20 children.
20 children?
Yes. 8 boys and 12 girls. And one thing that impacted me then to take interest in this area was the fact that my father valued education. It didn't matter whether you are a boy or a girl, education was valued in that home. So because of the value that my father attached to education, it gave me an opportunity to choose what I really wanted to be. So I went through primary school, high school. When I got to high school, having learned in the rural areas, I did not know much about engineering or other courses as the case may be. And I would want to say that the only career I knew, which was science-based, was medicine, because my brother was a doctor.
Then you should have done medicine.
I should have done medicine.
Yes.
But in my heart, I knew that medicine was not my part. Number one, I didn't think I could handle sick people. I was also not good in the sciences that would lead me to become a doctor. Biology, chemistry. But I was very good in physics. I was also very good in mathematics. But having been good at those things did not completely translate in me becoming an engineer. I needed information to know, what is this engineering? What can I do with my physics? What can I do with my
So how did you make your decision then?
How I made this decision was that in my high school, I was in St. Francis Girls Manual. At the end of my final year, before the end of my final year, a trip was organized for us by our school to go to Jomo Kenyatta University. It was a conference on women in science and technology. And when I went there, we were introduced to a number of science courses, mostly engineering. And when I went through that seminar, it was a one-day conference. By the time I left Jomo Kenyatta, I knew for sure that I wanted to become an engineer.
So in other words, you're saying a girl watching you now can be well impacted. So please communicate with that girl and really emphasize how this girl should be able to make her mind in as far as choosing to do STEM or not. Because I think we know we have a challenge in girls choosing. Sometimes them are very intimidated.
I think what I would say, besides now getting that information, there's something I've said back there, that it did not matter. My father valued education, and it did not matter which area you took. When I talk to girls, because I talk to girls a lot, there are so many of them who are in the courses they did not want to be, simply because it was not their idea. But for me, number one, my parents supported me in the choice I wanted to make. So I want to challenge that parent who is pushing their daughter to do what they don't want to do, to let them be. And what they want to do.
Let's look something. You're still surrounding the same step. There is element now of the training. After the training, what are the challenges and the achievements that women experience in this area? When they have just graduated, they want to go into industry, what are the challenges that women, you as a lady, the young ladies, what are the challenges do you experience? And what achievements have women registered so far?
I think what I would say my biggest challenge when I left university was the fact that this was projected as a man's world.
Okay.
And sure, it was a man's world, because I want to say that at the university, when I joined Jomo Kenyatta University, I was the only girl in a class of 24. So clearly it was doing civil engineering that time.
You must have felt very lonely.
Yes, for 5 years I was just with these men who are my classmates. So that is one challenge. It is projected that way, and when you look at it, actually, that is what it is.
Has it changed as of now? Last time you were one. What do you think is happening in universities now? Those young people who are doing engineering courses now, what is the gender parity as things stand now? Maybe if you may have an idea.
Things have improved a lot. We are having many more girls at the university, and I would say this with confidence, because in our farm, we train a lot. We offer attachment, we offer internship. And we are having, like, so far, the ones we have had at least 30% being ladies, and the other 70% being girls. I think that is a good starting point.
So there's a progress in that.
There's some progress in ladies taking up STEM courses, and especially engineering. Yeah.
And the achievements that the women are scoring in that area?
The achievements, okay, it is not very encouraging. Because what we are noting is that we are not seeing them translate as much as we have at the university. But there has been some progress. And one of the things are the challenges that we face as lead engineers. And I would want to say it, and giving an example, most of us ladies who have gone to engineering did not go into it because they loved it necessarily. And I'll give an example. The other day I was talking to ladies, university ladies who are doing engineering, and I posed this question to them. How many of you did engineering to prove a point? And more than half of them did engineering to prove a point.
The question is, which is this point that you're trying to prove?
Yeah. That is where I'm coming. Which point are you trying to prove? That actually I can do as well as the men. And I went ahead. Are you still proving the point? No. There is no point to prove. So I think there is a way we are socializing our girls to make them think that I should join STEM to compete with that boy.
Thank you. Now, on that point, our viewer will take a short commercial break. When you come back, we'll continue the conversation on that. This is the Education Matters, where you watch and learn. Welcome back. This is Education Matters. I have with me our guest, Engineer Wairimu Muli, and my co-host, Madam Gomboka. Please, you can lead us from there.
Okay, thank you. Engineer Wairimu, The second question is, there are many foreign contractors handling major engineer projects in Kenya. How is it done? Is it formal way?
Well, what I want to say is that it is formal.
Mm-hmm.
It is normally done through competitive bidding, as far as I know. And these people win. The contractors win through competitive bidding.
Okay.
You also realize that most of the projects that are, let me start by saying construction is capital intensive.
Yeah.
You need the money to be able to move these big
Yes.
contracts.
Contracts.
And because it is competitive, we are asking ourselves who is able to do this to do this job in terms of money, because for you to handle a big contract you need the money.
Yes.
And I would say maybe our local contractors may be lacking in the area of finances.
The funds.
But I would also want to say that it is very key,
Mm-hmm.
much as we are having these big contractors doing the big projects, to have a big portion of the percentage of the works being done by our local contractors, and that helps in technology transfer
Yeah.
and also allowing our people
To be
actually to be employed
Yeah.
through our contracts which are done on our land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question, maybe on the SGR. The SGR, you find the ones who are employed, the people are given the simple works. Like the engineers, the number of engineers, the Kenyan ones, it's minimal. Why?
No, I would not say they are minimal, because right now the person supervising the SGR is a local consultant.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's impressive.
A major part of the disposition of that works is local.
It's local.
A lot of materials is being supplied there also
Oh,
from our
yes.
local
That is
manufacturers.
very
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
And the other thing, our president recently launched the electricity, the one will run between Kenya and Rwanda, the big one. So will they be involved, our engineers?
I want to suppose they will be involved, because getting from the standard Kijiro line,
Yes.
as I've told you, it is being run by a local consultant.
Mm.
I want to suppose that they will be involved
Mm.
if they competitively win the tenders. Yeah.
And the number of the ladies now, the engineers are cute.
In those major,
In those major
projects.
Yes.
That is where the challenge is, and that is why we need to keep talking about this.
Yes.
That our ladies need to be encouraged. You realize that with ladies, besides being an engineer, it comes with so many social responsibilities.
Yeah.
And I will give you with my example.
Yeah.
I have practiced for 18 years. It's 18 years since I left university.
You don't look like
But I've only practiced for 12.
Wow.
6 years, I didn't practice.
Okay.
My counterparts were still practicing. So I think we need to encourage our ladies and not to leave their social responsibilities for a career.
Yeah.
How do they strike the balance?
How they strike the balance. Maybe how to give my example. When I left college, I worked for 3 years. Went out for another 4 years.
Setting up the family.
Setting up the family. And at that point, and I think that is what I want our ladies to capture. At that point, when I was setting up the family, I also had an opportunity to go for further studies.
Wow.
So when my children were big enough, the first 2 I went back to
School.
I went back to working another 4 years. But after those 4 years, I realized I was not doing good service to my children. I dropped for another 2 years. And I think the main thing is don't lose focus. Don't lose focus. Don't lose
Don't
focus.
sacrifice one for the
Don't
other.
sacrifice one for another. It is doable. It is possible to do everything. You may be slow. You may not go at the same pace as your colleagues. But at the end of the day, you still get
I want
there.
us to go back to the element of technology transfer. The issue here is it really being done in a form, or is that by the end of those projects, usually they don't run forever, of course, they have a time span.
Yeah.
By the end of that project, once they went, do we have sufficient engineers who pick the skills that are coming from those well-established companies and retain those skills for use locally, or maybe for exporting around Africa, if not back center? Is there a formal way of doing this thing?
I think that is what we lack. And I would say that we need to get a point where we have defined our KPIs. This engineer is attached to SGR.
Yes.
what do we expect them to gain? Are they gaining it? So it needs to be a little bit more formal. Because when I go to SGR, if I want to learn, I learn. But it's not formal. But if we could have a system where we're saying, in this project, we have a component for training. So I take this engineer, because both our ladies and our gentlemen, I take these engineers, I take them to that project with defined points. That by the end of this project, you must achieve to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now that one ties in with our key area here, the element of curriculum reform. How do we connect that, or what we call informal training, kind of on the job, when the SGR is being constructed, the physical super is being constructed? How do we tie in with what this girl is being taught at the secondary school, at the university, at the polytechnic? Where do they connect?
I think that has been one challenge of actually linking what we learned at the university to what we are doing out there. And I think the biggest challenge is that we take the university, run the training on one side, move these people from training to the industry. And what lacks quite a bit is that link between university and the industry. This person who is at the university, from the time they start first year, second year, third year, they should be able to be linking with the industry, both formally and informally. Yeah. But now when we lose that link, you realize I get somebody who is trained, but when they come to the industry, I have to retrain.
Still on the same issue of the technology transfer, what do you have to say about our middle level colleges? This college, everybody wants to be a graduate. How is that impacting the industry?
It is definitely impacting the industry because you realize in the implementation of construction projects, I need the engineer who does the design, who does everything, but you also need somebody who is on the ground, who is hands-on.
Yes.
What middle-level colleges do, they develop people who are hands-on, as opposed to the degree courses where we are training designers, we are training the people who should be able to supervise those designs. But when we lack in the middle-level college, then we lack that person who is hands-on.
So could you kindly address the two people here? I think 2, 3 people.
Yes.
One, the student, the teacher, and the parent. Because I tend to think that challenge of every Kenyan wanting to be a graduate is also coming from the demand side, not even from the both. Okay, we may be having challenges on both sides, but there's more pronounced in the parent. My child must be a graduate. The student himself, I must be a graduate. Please address those people.
I think in that area, I'll start with the parent. As I said, maybe as I gave my stories, I had a father who did not care what you did, as long as you got an education. So I had an opportunity of doing what I wanted to do without being pushed. And because of that, through my 18 years and a break of 6 years, I'm able to be where I am, because I was never pushed. We are having so many people who are in these professions simply because the parent thought they should go for it. The other day I was dealing with a gentleman who says, okay, my parents want me to do engineering, but I wanted to be in music. So I'll just be done with this engineering and go to music. We did not need to lose that opportunity. We should have given it to somebody else who actually want to do engineering and let them, the young lady, go to music. That is for the parent. Please let your child do what they want, whether they want to do a degree or a diploma. They should be allowed to go for what they want to go for. For the student, I think the biggest challenge we have, and I want to address it together with the teacher, we are training our children or our pupils or our students for employment. And I like keeping on asking this question. When you are being trained to be employed, who owes you a job? We are not training for knowledge, where we are saying, let us train this young man, this young lady, they gain all the knowledge. When they go there, they one thing be employable, if they want to be employed. And on the other hand, they will be in a position to run a farm like I do.
So they either go for the employment or they can be entrepreneurial enough and come up with employment for others.
So we are going for engineering. For engineering, let's talk of engineering at degree level because we think it pays. I've gone to schools, high school, you are talking to from one girls or boys, and the first thing they ask you, does engineering pay? And because we are being driven on how much it pays, we tell our children, you'd rather do a degree rather than a diploma.
We are money-oriented.
We are money-oriented. But I think we need to be knowledge-oriented.
Yes.
Whether I have a diploma or a degree, as long as I have knowledge, I'm able to be employed as a diploma person or a degree person. I'm also able to create employment. So let us learn for knowledge, yeah.
Very well, thank you.
So now, in what is happening in the middle level colleges? Do we still have some good colleges around where these students can go to briefly as we take another break?
Yeah, we still have polytechnics, but what has been happening is that, as you'll have noticed, is that most of our polytechnics have been taken up by universities.
Yeah.
It our biggest Kenya Poly that has been taken up. It is a university now. We had the Eldoret Polytechnic. Almost all our main polytechnics have become universities.
Is there any cutting point
You see, for the
colleges?
For the colleges, yeah, it is there. There is a basic qualifications for you to go for a diploma in civil engineering. The same way there is a basic cutoff.
Now, I have to stop you. Our time is up. I will have to take a short break. Viewer, this is Education Matters, where we have our guest, Engineer Muli, and my colleague, Komboka. We are looking at the place of the girl in STEM education. After the break, we'll talk more about that. Don't go away. Welcome back. This is Education Matters. I'm your host, Bogwa, with my colleague Komboka, and our guest, Engineer Wairimu Muli. You have mentioned about the challenges that girls go through in STEM. What's happening with technology transfer? Now, I want to focus at this bit now. What the government should do to enhance employability. We have this common story. I don't know how true it is. Maybe you tell us it's true or not. Where we are saying that we have so many engineers around, but they are not getting the privilege of getting what we call the real positions, employability of our graduates.
Okay, I think I want to approach it differently. As I was saying before we went for the break, we have an education system which insists go to school, get good grades, come out and get somebody to employ you.
Yes.
It is even worse where we have socialized our girls to think that I've gone to the university, I have a degree in civil engineering, it has been so tough for 5 years, I just need to go out there and somebody will be waiting to employ me.
Because I'm a girl.
Because after all, I have one advantage. I have a girl. And
Affirmative action.
told, you know, affirmative action. But I think let us be real. And ask ourselves, and ask the people, the educators, and ask the parents, who is this person who should employ you? And I would want us, as we continue, let us change it to get the knowledge, go out there. If you need employment, you may get it. But more so, you are the cream of society. Who should employ you? Because if I managed to go to engineering, to do engineering those many years ago, as an only girl in a class of 24, it means I was almost the best placed girls in my society. Now, if I come out and expect employment, who should give me that employment?
Then that one brings in the element of what it takes to industrialize, for you to open your own company in industrial park, for her to open it. How easy is that? Because I think that's what you're telling these graduates, not to just think of being employed, but how they can create themselves jobs themselves. It would only work if the engineer is able to come up with a small farm. How easy is it as things stand now?
Okay, I would want to talk of maybe the area I am in, yeah? once you leave college, this is what I encourage the ladies, the new graduates, and the ladies and the gentlemen, the new graduates, come out. The Engineers Act defines clearly how you move from one level of competence to the other level of competence. Please come out, get that job, because it is a struggle to get a job, I understand, but get that job, give it your best. Within 3 years, the Act provides that you can be registered as a professional engineer. And once you are able to be registered as a professional engineer, it means you've improved your employability. Because right now, for that person who is already a professional engineer, I am very much willing to take you in, because for you to be a professional engineer, it means by law you are able to take responsibility for your actions. But the challenge we are having is where graduates come out, we don't have that patience of reaching to a point where I'm saying now, according to the law, I'm an engineer. So we have so many
who are not progressing
professionally. And I think that is the biggest impediment. And it is so big such that if you compare the people who are registered as graduates and the one who are at professional level, the gap is so big. So that is the first stage as a professional engineer now. For you to be able to incorporate a company, an engineering consultant company which is recognized by the Engineers Board of Kenya, you need to practice for at least another 5 years to be a consulting engineer. That is about 8 years.
Do you need to do some certifications, retraining maybe?
No, you don't need any retraining. It is just through your practice and of course improvement in your area of study, that particular area, and you are able to become a consultant. I know people who have become consultants as early as 9 years of employment. Yeah.
Now let's go back to the one who does not get the chance to be employed, or who opts not to be employed. How can the engineer have a collaboration with the Juakali? Because the Juakali is all around very vibrant. How can they have a healthy working relationship? Where do they form agreements? If they can.
And I think what I would say on this is that right now we have so much construction going on in this country. If you wanted to incorporate a company, it is not that now, according to the companies, that now you can incorporate a company alone. And if you still want to be in the construction industry, you can incorporate a company which does construction. There are so many small jobs you can get as a contractor.
You begin and then you grow.
You begin and then you grow. There are people, I have friends who never went into consultancy and all that. They started as contractors and they are making it. So many who have never been employed, but they have decided to become contractors and they are making it. I think it is just a change of mindset. If I go out there knowing that nobody owes me a job, then I have to know how I'm going to earn a living.
And you're saying it can be done?
Yeah, it can be done.
Okay, engineer has a question. What is the government doing to like check or see what you people are doing? Maybe if I can give an example of another field, maybe like the judiciary, there are these conferences, they want to emphasize on what is going on, they want to maybe to uplift them and to help them grow. What about the engineers? What happens?
Engineers, number one, we have the Engineers Board of Kenya is the one that regulates the practice. That is number one. Then besides that, we have an institution. And the Institution of Engineers of Kenya is by membership. This institution, for the engineering fraternities, runs conferences. It even runs training for graduate engineers on how they are able to move they are able to register to be professional engineers. So we are doing it within the engineering fraternity. Maybe it may not be possible. Maybe I don't know whether you're talking of maybe our feasibility to them.
Well, certain feasibility is important because that's how the engineers will be able to know and participate. You're talking about capacity building, clearly obvious and apparent capacity building for the engineers. So they don't stagnate, as you are saying, at one level, they grow.
They grow, they advance, they gain more skills, they revise what they were taught, and then they up there again.
I think maybe that is a gap that has been there in the past. But now with the new Engineers Act, the new Engineers Act, there is a provision of training or internship. Okay, of course, the act is relatively new, and we look forward to a time when we are able to move our graduate engineers through an internship process so that they are able to get initiated into the profession. Yeah.
Now, on our closing moments, I would like to hear from you. What programs do you think can be done, or maybe are already in place, to again hold the hand of the girl and really guide her in this field? Are you aware of any that are in place, or do you think some that could be done to empower the girls?
I know of one or two that I've been involved in, but not extensively. It's a program we call Woman Eng, Woman Engineer, and Girl Eng. Woman Eng targets the ladies, the women ladies at the university level. We also have the Girl Eng, which targets
the girls
at the secondary school. But having said that, I think most of the training that is done, or most of the mentoring that is done, is mostly informal. And I would want to address this girl as a whole. This girl in primary school who has an interest in this, she gets to high school. I think we need to socialize our girls to be able to be the best they can in every aspect of their lives. I was sharing with somebody and I was saying every girl has a dream.
Yeah, true.
You will agree with me. You have that dream. You're a small girl. You want to see yourself as a family person, a mother, a wife. But somewhere along the way, it's like career catches up with us, and we have so much pressure from society such that we lose our social perspective of life. I think I would like us to socialize our girls differently. You know, we are so romantic about this STEM thing, and we forget to look at our girl. Yeah, we see that small girl. I don't think that girl has changed simply because she became an engineer. And using my example, going through university, getting married, I thank God because by His grace, I have a very supportive husband who's also an engineer. Going through 3 years, you take a break, you almost feel like giving up. You go for another 4 years, take another break, you almost feel like giving up. Let us encourage our girls that they can actually be wives, they can be mothers, and they can be engineers.
I also want to hear your comment on matters to do with integrity and engineering. Now that you are also a member of ELNET, which champions in ethics in business.
Yes, I'm a member of ELNET, where we champion ethical living. And particularly a member of BLF, where we are saying that we need to conduct ourselves such that everybody will know a business that runs ethically. And I want to say that the construction industry is one industry where a lot of money is involved. It is also an industry where there is a lot of unethical practices. But I want to say, and I want to tell our viewers, that actually it is possible to do engineering, be in engineering successfully, and do work ethically.
Both ethically in terms of standards and business.
In terms of standards, in terms of money, in terms of everything. Because when we run those contracts, we are looking at standards, we are looking at costs, and we are looking at time. So it is possible. We have done it for the last 8 years. It has been possible. We have hard work, and we are moving on as a firm. Yeah, so it is possible. And I would want to encourage us. Let us embrace ethics. It's cheaper when we work ethically. The standards are better, and we also complete our work in time.
That is impressive.
So it is a win-win. When we go ethical, it is all of us win.
Now, you confided in me that you do bridges.
Yes.
What does it entail to do bridges, and how many bridges? Now, are they? Can we really appreciate your work, like the buildings, the tall buildings? How do we come to appreciate you to know that you really are the person behind?
Well, yes, I do bridges. I have designed many in this country. I have supervised many, been constructed in this country. You realize maybe why we don't notice bridges.
We go over there.
We go over there. And we're either going over there
Yeah.
or going under them.
Yeah.
And you, my friend Kamau, you only use that road when that black top is there.
Yes.
You never even get to know
What is going on?
what is under here.
Mhm.
I would challenge, and I want to challenge parents and educators for our girls and our boys who are interested in these areas. Just take them around and they see what is going on.
No,
We have so much construction going around.
Wairimu TV will be very happy about it. If only you tell us how it happened, because I think sometimes construction sites are also intimidating. I don't know, maybe we may need your help to find a way. We would like to take a detour around SGR and around the many projects.
I think that there's a process that you can take if you wanted to come in there. Every project runs with the CEO of every project is called a resident engineer. A resident engineer's office is always a public office. If you are interested in a certain project, you can actually walk into the resident engineer's office and talk to them, and they will be able to tell you the process that you need to go through for you to be allowed into the site where we are doing construction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we are closing down.
Maybe as a lady engineer, what are your achievements as we wind up? Maybe.
I have designed many bridges. Yes, I have constructed many. In 2014, I designed the longest baby bridge in Africa. It is across Galana River inside Savo East. I don't know whether it has been overtaken, but by 2014 December, it was the longest, having overtaken one done in Morocco. It's 225 meters.
Wow.
It is this is Savo East and be taken to our new bridge.
That's your handwork.
That is my work.
Wow.
It is up, it is constructed, it is operational. You know, sometimes we see these big buildings and we think, wow, it is not doable. It is doable. Yeah.
Now, on the parting shot, please address our viewer once more, and I want you to talk specifically to the girl instead. In few words, then we wind up.
What I would want to tell this girl, first of all, I want to congratulate you for choosing to do a course which is said to be male-dominated. For sure, it is male-dominated. I want to encourage you that you don't have to give up your everything for a career. As I said earlier, it is possible to be successful in science, technology, engineering and mathematics, and still have your dream life, that dream you had when you were a girl before you became a scientist.
And fulfill your gender role as I did.
Yeah, you are able to fulfill your everything as a lady, as a mother if you want to be one, as a wife if you choose to be one, and as a person in science, technology, engineering and mathematics.
Thank you very much, Engineer. It was very nice having you. Thank you, viewer. Now that brings us to the end. We certainly strongly believe that our girl is sincerely and well encouraged to take her right position in the society, both as an engineer, as a mother, a wife, and all those other appropriate socio-gender roles. Thank you very much. Keep on watching.